first of all, Marcus, it's an honor to talk to you. And I had a question real quick. Do you still have the freshman scoring record for your very first game? I think you had 22.
Man, I think somebody cracked it at some point, man. Now, don't remind me. I'm having a great Monday morning. Remind me about my fallen records.
Okay. Well, two things. The first one is on the sports psychiatrist. This was back in the late 70s or maybe the 80s season, and Coach Crum was a little concerned with Darrell Griffith and his defensive abilities, and he had him talk to Stan Frazier. I think he's passed away since, but they were playing Marshall, and they had a player named Bunny Wilson who averaged about 24 or 25 points a game, and he talked with him a couple times the week of the game, and Coach Crum put Darrell on Bunny Wilson, and I think he held him to like 6 points.
Right.
And so it does work. And that's one thing. And the other thing is, if Enoch, if they're going to, I think the problem is they're doing the jump hook, and they're kind of still, it's more hook than anything else. And Hansbrough used to, his last step was a little bit away from the defender, and he turned his body at like 45 degrees, which makes it more, you can control your shot a little bit more.
Right.
And the other thing is, basketball players today, for some reason, have completely forgot that there's a 6x4 piece of plexiglass that the rim's attached to that makes a whole lot of difference when you're shooting close-in shots.
Right.
So that's pretty much it. I just thought I'd drop those two things to you.
No, listen, I appreciate the call, and you're not wrong. Like, I don't like the lack of backboard. I'm in Crum era.
Christian Cunningham has it. He uses that thing like it's going out, like he's
straight
should. Out of Hoosiers.
Right. No, you should. You absolutely should. But here's the thing, too. Speaking of the sports psychology element, right? You know, he's talking about, I know you saw my eyes light up. I guess this is what today turns into, the sports psychology element for now.
Yeah.
Stephen Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
I got a solution.
Mm-hmm.
No. I've identified the problem.
Yeah.
We talked about this. So everybody who's wondering about Stephen Enoch, gather around. Because good old Uncle Marcus is going to tell you what is going on. And listen, if you have to pass this along to Coach Mack, or if you listen to the show and you go talk to the coaches afterwards, you can pass along. You can pass this along to your friends and let everybody know that Marcus has identified the problem. Now, this identification came from something you noticed first, Steve. Do you remember what that was? During the fight.
Yeah.
What did you, I say fight, during the little kerfuffle.
You've been reading the Courier. during the street fight that broke out.
The brawl.
Yeah.
The malice in the yum.
The malice in the yum.
Right.
The scrum in the yum that broke out.
Right.
Yeah, the other day. Just the way Steve calmly kind of walked up and he basically looked at the guy and said, dude, I'm going to mess you up.
I'll mess you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Calmly go up to somebody and say, dude, calm down because I'll hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a guy you believe.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
I remember Tick Rogers one time in some pickup game, right? And one of these football players was talking real reckless to him. And Tick just looked at him and said, man, I don't even do that. Right?
And you know.
And I looked at Tick, and I looked at the dude, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And just for some reason, that dude believed Tick more than he believed Ellis Miles. You know?
Yeah.
It was like, wait a minute. Ellis looks meaner and tougher.
Yeah.
Just the way Tick was just like, dude, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Either we're going to play or we're going to fight.
Yeah.
There is no in between.
Right.
With my point being, with Stephen Enoch, he says, stop it now because you don't want to fight.
Mm-hmm.
I realized something at that moment, Steve. I realized something about Stephen Enoch that nobody else knows except for Stephen Enoch and his family.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all realize when you look at Stephen Enoch, you see the most developed humans on the planet.
Yeah.
Body-wise, frame-wise. Like, do you realize he's athletic at that size? Like, he's in a dunk contest. He can run, he can jump, and he's country strong.
We sit around the court, and he's one of the most impressive individuals
That you're ever going to see.
Yeah.
That you're ever going to see.
Yeah.
Right? Like, period, right?
Yes.
He's always been like that stuff. Listen, that stuff you see may have been hidden under about 10 to 15 extra pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just out of not being worked at the college level crazy and not playing a lot of minutes at the college level. Just about 10, 15 pounds have kind of hidden under that physique. Stephen Enoch has hurt people around him every chance he got. I mean, no. By accident. Can you imagine if Stephen played at Bullitt Central and he was your teammate? Like in high school.
Sure.
And your coach told you, hey, Steve, we need you to really rough up Stephen, right?
Yeah.
You can try, but if Stephen catches you with a little bit of a flailing elbow,
Mm-hmm.
you're out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Like, you're going to wear a cut over your eye for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody's going to feel worse than Steve.
Right.
Steve has played, like, he didn't play at IMG Academy.
Right.
He didn't play at Oak Hill. So Steve has all this physique and all this impression. Steve can't power dribble on a 6'3", a 6'3", 212-pound high schooler. Like, you can't use any of that stuff that God gave him. He hasn't been able to use it. Do you remember in the Indiana game, the one time Steve opened up big, he was fighting Juwan Morgan in the paint. One time Stephen Enoch opened up big. Did you see the way Juwan Morgan went down when that elbow? And it wasn't a moving elbow. It was just kind of like raising my hands.
Just flow of the game.
Imagine you're Enoch and you always catch people across their forehead, and you just have longer arms and a bigger body, and you're strong.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't, like, he would if he got low and wanted to root somebody out of the paint. But the only way you get that is if you compete with other men.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but he hasn't.
Right.
He's sitting on the bench at UConn. They didn't use him as a center against center. They didn't run any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like Armenian national team. You know how little, how
He was the biggest man on that team. I guarantee
he's
you
the
that.
biggest man in the country. Like, it's a country. You get my point?
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's not been around heavy, full, like a big man camp.
Right.
Where we have 10 big men, all of them doing battle. Enoch, Reed Travis, some other big burly dude, David West. Like, he's not had the chance to work out
Need
with
to bring him on staff.
That's a fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's never he doesn't power dribble and explode out of this stuff. He doesn't go through contact. He'll hurt somebody,
Yeah.
right? But here's the thing. The fix is his teammates are going to depend on him to be tougher. And eventually something's going to kick in where he has to say, my teammates need me to be willing to hurt somebody if I have to go get this bucket.
Sure.
Like, this is going to happen. It's a natural development. But right now, that's why he'd rather beat you with his skill than his brute strength.
And I often wonder if people remember Steve's not a senior.
At all.
Yeah.
At
not
all.
a senior,
And career development wise, he's a freshman.
Yeah.
He's a sophomore.
Yeah.
As far as his playing time.
Sure.
Armenian national team, like I say, he wasn't a crazy high recruit. He went to UConn. He did, and he got hurt, and he went to UConn.
Yeah.
He's clay.
Yeah.
He is just clay right now. A little softer, like I said, not soft, but again, he's not as brute and physical because he's not used to it.
Yeah.
When he gets there, you'll be excited, but it'll be dangerous. It'll be scary.
Now let me give you the opposite. Malik Williams. Malik Williams up in Indiana, played some of the best high school basketball that you can play. He was long, lanky, played outside of the paint for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
He put 25 pounds of muscle on, and he's like, I'll go down here and push everybody out the way now.
He's looking like when Spider-Man first realized he was Spider-Man.
Yes. You mean when I hit that dude, he bounces? Malik.
He's having fun playing with these toys that are muscles.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah.
When somebody posts up far away from the paint and he gets that first bump, you can tell he's getting more and more excited about being physical.
Yeah.
Because he's learning to use this, this new stuff.
Yes.
Like I said, Malik's already had this stuff, and I've had to hide it.
Yep.
So I won't hurt my teammates all the time.
I know.
That's hard to get through.
But when you think about that, it kind of puts in perspective a little bit about why Malik Williams looks. I mean, over the last 3 games, it's not sugarcoated. Malik Williams looked better. He looked better than Steve Enoch the last 3 games. And I think, though, when you put a little bit of that in perspective, you start to realize, hey, you get into the psychology of it that will Texter ain't wrong with that. No, that kid, Aiden Agayon, that's going to be.
But Enoch will be able to use that against him.
I know.
But Aiden will realize he's not as strong as he thinks either.
I don't disagree with that either. Yeah. That's going to be something. Yeah, when he comes in,
those muscles are different from girth.
But I mean, when you realize the psychology between the 2 players, you start to say, okay, he's getting it. And you know what? Malik's going to hit an ACC wall at some point. I mean, and I hate to say it.
One of them, well, yeah.
But at some point during this season, he's going to catch a game where you're going to catch somebody throw him back around.
Yep.
And you're going to go, oh man.
What happened to all that?
Yeah, what happened? And then he will. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm saying I don't necessarily just keep jumping off the bandwagon one to the other.
Right.
Because then what's going to happen is when Malik hits that midseason, Malik's going to then have to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, now how do I harness what I have? Whereas Steve, I think by that point, that'd be a time for Steve to step in and say, no, look, this is what I can do against these teams. They work extremely well together. I just don't want to separate them and get into because you can feel how close it is to who should play more battle between Malik and Steve.
But they're not. They look like they're not going to let that happen.
Right.
And before you know it, they'll be on the court together.
He knows that. Mac knows that. You have to. Going in with what you have coming up in the ACC and what you're going to have to do in the NCAA tournament, you absolutely at some point are going to have to play them together, and he knows that, and that's why anytime you get a chance, I think you're starting to see it. I wouldn't be I ain't going to say it. Oh, you like
I know. We got a long week, Steve. Yeah. Save that one. Quick commercial break. Midday with Marcus Maben, 8150 93.9 is the number on 99 The Ville.
You know, the perfect bank should be mobile, not just online. It should have amazing programs for all your financial needs. It should be involved in the community, and you should be one of the owners. Actually, that's not a job for a bank. You need something a little different. Luckily, we're not a bank. We're so much more. And now we're the preferred credit union partner of the University of Louisville. Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently. Visit WeSeeUofLDifferently.com for more information.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you're ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maben or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
Luke Hancock here for Davis Jewelers. Like many of you, I'm a watch nut. I'm a collector. And if you love fine timepieces like I do, you simply have to come to Davis Jewelers. Davis Jewelers is Louisville's and the legendary Tudor. In fact, Davis Jewelers is Kentucky's exclusive Tudor retailer. And Tag Heuer, I don't even have to tell you how popular tag is. Davis Jewelers has almost every tag Hoyer, even hard to find collector's models, in stock right now. Visit davisjewelers.com for all their premier Swiss watch brands. So for yourself, you know you can't have just one or the perfect gift. It's time for a new Swiss timepiece from Davis Jewelers, Louisville's largest fine jeweler. Hey, tell them Luke sent you.
Davis Jewelers, Louisville's largest fine jeweler. Forest Green Boulevard, just off North Hurstbourne Parkway, and davisjewelers.com.
What good is it having that beautiful view on your front and backyard if you can't see through your old grimy windows? Or how about when you let a little fresh air and your windows are constantly getting stuck? If this sounds like your current situation, it's time to make that call to Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty, the best installation in town, quality products, doors, windows, siding, and gutters. They've also been voted the most efficient for 2018 and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating and all 5-star reviews, which means these are exactly the new windows you've been looking for. So go visit them at 11501 Plantside Drive, Louisville, Kentucky, or 502-494-0120. That's Windows Plus. Make the call.
If your basketball's bouncing, that must mean the weather is getting colder, which also means you're getting ready to find out if your heating system is ready for the season ahead or headed to the bench. This month, you can get 36 months special financing on qualified Train comfort systems or $1,000 back from the DFH Company. It's hard to stop a train, and it's hard not to call DFH Company today, 968-6222, or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Subject to credit approval, visit dfhcompany.com for complete details.
So, Steve, what do you think about Bill at Scorns and Sons Collision Centers, man?
Let me just say, I had a friend who totally ruined his car. They got him taken care of quick, efficiently, and out the door.
Family owned and operated for over 70 years, Ed Scorns is the leader in auto repair technology and technician training. Do not, I repeat, do not let just anyone repair your vehicle. It's your choice. Tell your insurance company you're taking your vehicle to Bill at Scorns and Sons Collision Centers. There are 2 locations, Bardstown Road and Shelbyville Road in Middletown. Or call us at 491-BODY or visit us at etscorns.com. That's ETSCORNS.com.
Chances are you've recently talked about it or thought about it or might even be thinking about it right now. You're thinking it's time to upgrade your vehicle, and boy, do we have the place for you. Globe Auto Sales. Family owned and operated, serving the greater Kentuckiana area since 1972. Why Globe Auto Sales? Well, the answer is simple. The staff at Globe Auto Sales focuses entirely on the quality buying experience, not the high-pressured sales pitch you get at other places. So while you're thinking about it, stop by Globe Auto Sales located at 5705 Bardstown Road. Check out their inventory at Globe Autos online. Oh, and be sure to tell them you're a friend of 93.9 The Ville.
Have you been in a car wreck? Insurance companies can be really tough to deal with on your own. I'm Sam Aguiar, and our team is here to help. We have been fortunate enough to represent thousands of people from Kentucky communities, and we would love to speak with you about your potential case. Our team loves what we do. The consultation for you is free, and we don't charge you anything unless we win the case for you. So come be a part of our team. Our phone number is easy, 502-888-8888. 502-888-8888.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville is broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maben, 8150. 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. So here's the thing. Here we are. What are we talking about? December 16th, 17th, year of our Lord, 2019, 17th, 2018. I do these shows with the enjoyment of Louisville sports, like, on my mind consistently. Like, you know, we We giving the courage on a hard time. We give everybody a hard time who disagrees with anything that myself or Steve has to say, right? But my appreciation like doubles and triples and quadruples when I watch learning, when I watch growth, right? So here's the thing, Brian, I'll just throw this question to you, right? When you talk about a coach, Chris Mack, and you talk about what he wanted out of this team, what was his just one word answer? What was Chris Mack's number one objective in order for this team to be good? Toughness, right? So here's the thing: we wanted toughness. Everybody agreed with Coach Mack. It's just not tough. Everybody got to get tough. That was the key word: tough. Louisville played Kent State. And if you listened to the pregame show, if you listened back on Friday, and I described to you what kind of team you're going to see, right? I said, this is the kind of team that's going to challenge you. I told one story at the end of the pregame show. I said, the cross-section moment of the team you're going to play against in Kent State. This guy hits a three, turns around, gets right up into the 6'9" face of Chateau from Vanderbilt. They were obviously bringing it. That Kent State team was one of 3 teams in the country who was like undefeated on the road, right? So here's the thing. You had that game. You saw the team play. Whether or not you admit that it was a bigger lead than those last couple of threes where they cut it to 13 and it ruined everybody in betting the spread and all that, which I thought was crap too. Like referees gave some extra and ones at the end of the game I didn't like. But here's the thing. Marcus is going to get in here and say, man, did you see how tough everybody was? Darius was tough, and Jordan was tough. He competed, and Dwayne and Malik, and everybody was tough. And there go Marcus again. Marcus pushing Coach Mack's agenda and all that. So I believe it was Rick Bozich where I read the article. The post game, they went to Senderoff. You don't know who Coach Senderoff is? He was the coach of the Kent State Flashers or whatever. What's their name? Kent State what? They weren't Flashers. What were they?
Golden Flashes.
Golden Flashes, right?
Yeah.
So I want to read something that I saw. Okay, here it is. I believe it's right here. Okay, Kent State. Senderoff was impressed by Louisville before his team lost. We're going to find these quotes. This is what another coach thinks of your team, right? When I watched them on film, I thought they were an NCAA tournament caliber team. When you play against them, they're physical. They got some length up front. They've got an elite player in Jordan Wara. I know he didn't play that great tonight, but he's an elite player. He hit 3 huge threes in the first half that gave him separation. They take care of the ball. When we pressured them, we weren't able to create turnovers. They do a lot of things that good teams do, and they definitely have toughness. They play physically, and they play with competitive spirit. Say another thing about the Cardinals, who improved to 8-3 and gained a spot while moving to 39 in the Ken Palm rankings. They win the games they're supposed to win. Not everybody does that. They have not retreated against anybody. Not everybody does that either. I thought that was as good as a team as we've played on both ends of the floor. That was Max. That was Max saying. Kent State's a solid program with veteran guys. The Golden Flashes won at Vanderbilt last month. They defeated Oregon State last season. Buffalo is the class of the Mid-American, but Kent State got a shot at the top tier. No trap game, no letdown, no looking ahead to Kentucky, no looking back at Indiana Seton Hall. I wanted to find the other quote out of Senderhoff, right? But just what I read to you, right? For a coach to have 3 paragraphs of commentary on the University of Louisville, and for those 3 paragraphs to like use the word toughness, I mean, 7 times? Some sort of physicality statement. That means something. That's not me. That's not me just hey, y'all, look at this team. You combine that with at least 7 guys who basically, like I said, who were looking at their careers in the wake and decided to stay and still ride it out at Louisville. And to know that you're just scratching the surface of toughness. Like, do you think that this team is like bullying people just yet? No. Just playing a little physical. I think that means something. We didn't even get to talk into like individual, game action. We're not talking about Robert Morris, not getting to the Kentucky talk yet. We haven't gotten to the Rick Pitino element of going back to celebrate, with the 90, what is it, the 93 team. Like, we haven't gotten to any of that stuff. B Hall, we have to get Mac his props right now, right? Because like I said, they got this thing rolling. I think they deserve it. Take it away.
This is my buddy Kane. He just gonna provide security